Hi everybody, welcome. It's Terri with Earleygirlsyarn. It has been a minute and I will explain why here in a second. But first of all, I wanted to thank you for stopping and checking in. So many people messaged on Instagram, inquired about what was going on because I haven't been live on there either. Um, and I'm so grateful. So let's start with you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry at Earley, Earley, Girls Yarn. I'm most active on Instagram. I have been this year for the first time, even with this little break, keeping up with putting my whips and finished objects and recording them in Ravelry. So I'm so happy about that. So my projects section, well, it always looks a little chaotic because hypothetically, I'm pretty good about it, but whenever I buy like a kit to make a sweater, or like I buy something for a specific project, I put all the yarn out, take a picture of the yarn, and then log into Ravelry with the project I'm intending to make, and then I file it away. So what you're seeing over here, like that, all of, whoops, that way, is all unassigned yarn that doesn't have projects. And then what you're not seeing, which is all of this over here, that is all of my cubbies full of projects waiting to be knit up. Sweaters, shawls, all over there, and some in front of me. So anyway, that's how I do it. So if you log into my Ravelry projects page and you're like, holy smokes, there's 300 projects. I wish I had them all done, but I do not. Anyway, I digress. So I was doing so good in December and January with recording. I actually recorded my State of the Stash for January that would have been released in February with all of my numbers. And then we had some bad ice storms, and I've got a brick front steps and walkway. And we've been keeping up with it, but whatever. There was just this one day, and my husband hadn't salted. Cece and I went out to do some, I think she had a Mean Girls rehearsal. And we came back, and I walked a little 9-pound dachshund. So it's not like she has a lot of pull in her. And I was walking down the steps. I slipped, and my whole body weight fell. And I landed on my elbow and my ribs back behind. I cracked my ribs. It was bad. Cece happened to see it when she opened the door to walk her dog. I happened to leave first, thank goodness, because I mean, I'd rather, I guess if one of us is going to be hurt, I'd rather it be me than her. So she ran down to get my husband. I am super stubborn because he's like, let's go to the ER. I'm like, I'm fine. And I didn't go to the ER because with cracked ribs, like, there's nothing they can do. Um, but anytime I coughed, laughed, twisted, raised my arm at all, it was like tears for a few weeks. That was for quite some time. Now I can do all of those things, and it only hurts if I like lift a certain way or twist a certain way so much better. So, I mean, for a while, it was probably 3 weeks. I mean, I was doing very little, very little. Um, then I started, like being able to like try and blow dry my hair because you have to lift both arms and just basic things. I got back to it. Let's see. I probably could have been recording about 2 or 3 weeks now, but once you're out of the habit, it's hard to get back into it. So finally, I had a bunch of people reach out at the beginning, and there's another person just reached out last week, and I'm like, you know what? There's no reason why I cannot get back into this, and I want to. I was able to knit a lot actually because I could sit and just like work right in front of me. Izzy had to help me wind yarn. That was even hard, but we're here now. So that's what happened. It's a little embarrassing because I'm not, I think of falling like, someone who's, I don't know, maybe elderly or has a hard time walking. Nope. I had none of those things, and man, did I fall hard. So that's what happened. I have a ton of whips, but I'm not going to like do a big whip catch up or any of those types of things. I'm going to save that because I did decide to release some State of the Stash videos in the month of April. So for a while here, you're going to have 2 videos a week just to kind of get caught up. And that's where I'll go through older whips. But I did want to share my most recent 2. sock whips that I finished. And I guess let's start with my sweater. I got this one done in March. This is Snowy Forest. All right, so I paused for a second there. Cece kind of got moving and her dog was excited to see the downstairs, I suppose. But I also looked up the name. So this is Snowy Forest, and Midori Hirose is the designer who designed it. I used a DK weight held double with mohair, and I love it. It's a cable. The cables are worked at the top. She called for more ease, and I even think this is a little bit boxy, like a little much, but I'm really, really happy with it. I love it. It's soft and fuzzy. Highly recommend. I did the longer version. I also added a split hem just because that's what I like. And yeah, long sleeves. It's been out in the town quite a bit, and it's a great knit. I would highly recommend. I want to say I knit it on a size 10.5 and a size 10 needle for like the collar. It's got a folded collar that you then sew together, and tubular or Italian bind off. So yeah, I highly recommend. Great project. It is still rather cold here in Michigan, so I've been wearing it. So that is my bigger FO in March, and I'll kind of go into a little bit more detail, I think, in the state of the stash. But all the details are linked in Ravelry because I cannot remember the name of the yarn I used. It was a de-stash. Someone had been de-stashing, and I had this sweater in mind, so I was able to pick it up. So I don't remember, but it's in Ravelry. I will look it up before the State of the Stash video. But yeah, I love it. I'm looking over here because I have one skein that didn't get all used and some mohair. So I'm going to be making a hat to match it. So if you know of a cable hat, I might even go and see if she's got a sweater or a hat that matches the sweater cables, because that would be so cute. But that is my goal, to get that done, like, I don't know, this fall for the winter, because how cute to have like a matching hat and the cutie sweater. So that is my like big FO that I got done in March. And then here are two of the latest socks that I got done. There are two, but I only have one in the sock blocker because I'm going to show two different pairs. So Night Owl Fibers is doing a knit along. Now you can jump in at any point, like really at any quarter. I believe, now go check, but I believe she's going to give away like first quarter, you got 15% off, like a coupon to get 15% off your order in April, I think. But if you finish one sock, they need to be adult socks. I think the leg has to be at least 3 inches long, which I am always well over that. And you take a picture of the finished completed sock in that month, and you email it off to Night Owl Fibers. And if you do 3, I think she's going to be giving the coupon for each quarter. You get a coupon code, and then if you go the whole year, which if you're just starting now, that won't be an option for you. But if you go the whole year, she is going to have a special skein dyed. I think maybe it'll be released later to everybody else, but I think it might just be for the people that finish that year. So I'm so excited. So I was able to get January, February, and here's my March. This is the colorway Coral Reef, which is really pretty. I am choosing to do Heel Toe Do-Si-Do pattern by Kay the Crazy Sock Lady on every single sock that I knit of Night Owl Fibers this year. So that's kind of fun. It keeps it interesting. It keeps it, a little unique that's that pattern for the year for that sock. So I'm so excited. That was one of the finished objects in March. I got it done right before Cece and I went to New York City on a trip. So that was really exciting. My very last finished object I got done like literally the day before we left for New York City. So I think that was Thursday the 26th or something like that of March. This is a Night Owl Fiber skein. It's not the one that I knit for her knit along, which is knit one of her socks each month, and then you post her stuff on her Ravelry page or her Ravelry group. This is like a bonus one because for hers, you have to use all of her own self-striping plus her own heels, toes, and cuffs. Well, these heels, toes, and cuffs Izzy picked out. They are her, this is the color of her college she's going to. So this colorway is called Bonfire, but I am lovingly calling these socks Fall at Drake, which is her university. And I will be mailing these to Izzy probably either in September or October. So what I've done, and I'll share that on another video, but per Izzy's request, she knows that I'm going to be giving her a care package each month. And she wanted there to be a new pair of knit socks each month. So we talked about this last year because last year is the first year that I knit socks. And I was knitting so many, she's like, just save some for later for when I'm in college. So I've got a stack of, I think, 5 or 6 already kind of saved up, which is really, really exciting and fun. So this is going away for her for that package. So I had many more finished objects in the month of February and March. In fact, this was sock 16 of the year. So I will be sharing those, as I said, on the State of the Stash videos that I am going to be doing and releasing over this month. So let's talk about some knit-alongs. And, oh, I don't have to pause. It's right here. Okay. So I am participating in some really fun knit-alongs right now. The first of which is a Spincycle / Andera Mowrey knit-along. Andera Mowrey has her March to May knit-along going on right now, and it's knit, I think it's just shawls and sweaters this year. So I decided, I actually have a shawl, and you could use whips. So I had an old whip that had, I don't know, maybe like 20 rows done on it, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. So I'm doing that as my shawl project. And then this is my sweater project. And the reason why I picked the Metamorphic Sweater is because Spincycle is also doing a knit along with the Metamorphic Sweater and their Metamorphic yarn. So here is my Metamorphic. Let's see, yeah, here is the front. How fun is that? So I'm really excited. You'll see I'm using Night Shades. It was actually, I got this from a D-stash from Diane. Thank you, Diane. And this Metamorphic, I don't know the exact name, but their Metamorphic yarns are 50% like leftovers or mill ends, or I'm not even sure, with 50% new wool, and they spin it up. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of different each time, but this was the grade they had at the time. I thought it worked really well. And you'll see like there's one little bit here where the grays are very similar, so it kind of looks a little stripy there, but that does not bother me in the slightest. I mean, there is, you can see it when you're really close up, there is differences, but I'm loving this. This is super neutral for me, but I was in a neutral mood, and this is hitting all of those notes for me. So I've already split for sleeves. I have not worked on this since before New York, so I definitely am going to be jumping on this weekend. I put it down because I needed to finish my socks for that month, but I'll be getting it back out. And I flipped it because this is how it will look when it's finished, but you knit it inside out, which is fantastic. It allows you to knit, 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 knit instead of doing all that purling, and it really goes quite fast. I think I've got probably 3 inches done from under the sleeves, and I'd have to look at the pattern. I think I have to go 9 inches. Yeah, you knit 9 inches. I will of course try it on, and then you do 3 inches of ribbing, hem ribbing. So yeah, I've got some to go. This knit along is through April 24th, I believe. So I do have some time, which is great, but my hope is to have the body done. I mean, if I could get it done this weekend, that'd be fantastic, but for sure by like Monday, Tuesday of next week. because then Izzy and I leave on a volleyball tournament. So yeah, so that's that project. I'm absolutely loving it. I had not used Metamorphic before. It's a DK weight. Love it. Love it so much that I in fact bought a green, 3 green skeins so I can do another Metamorphic. In my head, I'm like, I can get them both done by April 24th, but that just won't happen. But I'm going to do that with like some Spincycle I already have in the pink tones. It is going to be fire. So that is definitely one I will be working on, but probably I highly doubt with the Louisville trip I'll be able to get them both done. But who knows? When my needles get to flying and I get focused, great things can happen. Okay, I'm going to be right back because I'm going to pull out my shawl whip to show you where that's at. Now that one is only for the Andera Mowrey March to May. So that one isn't getting a lot of love until the sweater's done. And then I will work on that. But yeah, let me show you where that's at. Okay, so this one is getting housed in an awesome bag by Calm Collections. It's my friend Emily. I've not spoken to her in a bit simply because we used to see each other all the time when I was in Iowa. Our girls were both in volleyball, but then we moved to Michigan and, you know, life happens. So she made bags. This fabric is actually was curtains that used to hang in my dad's room when he was growing up. So I'm so excited and love that I was kind of able to repurpose it, and now I get to use it and enjoy it, and it just makes me smile. So here is my Free Your Fade. This shawl, it's embarrassing how long this shawl has been on the needles for no reason. It's all in my Ravelry, but I believe I cast it on, I want to say July of maybe 2020. Yeah, I think it was July of 2020 or June of 2020. My cousin Katie came to visit during COVID because she needed a break and we needed fun things to do. Oh, I see a slip stitch. Okay, hang on. I've got to get this figured out. Oh, a stitch fell off. Okay. Yikes, that's what happens. I took this project with me to, there we go. I took this project with me when we went to New York City thinking, oh, I'll work on it. I did not. I just worked on socks. But this is it. This is the Free Your Fade. I've got the first color. It's this darker color, has already been faded out. I'm on color number 2. The yarn is by, no, I can't remember, Destination Yarn. I bought it, oh, I want to say in 2018, and then it will fade into this colorway. I bought it at, oh, what is it, Knit Midwest or something like that. It was one of the, it's no longer happens, but it was one of those big expos that came Midwest, West, and East, I believe. So I'm really excited about it. As I said, it's probably not going to get a ton of love until we get back. But yeah, that's it. So I'm, as I said, through the first color, onto the second color. I've got quite a bit. 10, 20, 30, probably like 35, 40, no, 38 more rows before I fade in the last color. But this will be getting done by the end of May. So that is my Free Your Fade shawl by Andera Mowrey that I'm doing for the March to May Andera Mowrey knit along. Okay. There's another knit along that I'm so excited to be excited about, if that makes any sense at all. I used to knit, gosh, 2 to 3 Westknits shawls a year. One year I did like one a month. I've always loved his work, but that KAL, the Geo Gradient, with just all the kind of the negativity, I guess, surrounding that center portion, that first clue, I just got burnt out. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the people or the drama or whatever. In fact, I still have it as a whip in my other room. I just took a break. I just didn't want to knit Westknits shawls for a while. But he has been putting out some videos as of late. He's got a knit along right now. It's a Stashbuster knit along from April 1st through, I think it's May 15th. and it's just to knit anything using your stash. And I'm like, hello, stash. So I am going to knit one and probably at least cast on the second. The first one I talked about in a previous video, relatively, I say recently, but I think it was in January. It is the Painting Stripes shawl. I have had this yarn wound up, so let me be right back and I will get it. Craziness, sorry about that. So this is a different advent box, as I was saying. I've had this wound up for some time now. This is the Painting Stripes shawl. I need a US size 4. I actually just bought a few more US size 4s. I don't know where mine went. That is the shawl. And I'm going to be using Red Stag fiber. This is Welsh slate. This is the Chateau sock. So it's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And look at this set of minis. Gosh, now I can't even remember. I'll have to look up who made it. I mean, it's been so long. It's in my Ravelry, thank goodness. You can tell I'm rusty at sharing with you guys because normally I'd be right on the spot and now I'm blanking. I want to say it's Cameo Yarns. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I will verify. So I'm going to be casting this on. I'm going to have a ton left over, which is awesome because I've been really into scrappy socks and all kinds of things. Like I'm thinking heels and toes and cuffs with some of these. Like it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm finally going to cast it on and get working on it. But what really, I mean, this has got to get done just because it's been here forever and it will definitely bust some stash of mine. What really got me going was the new, and I bought the shawl pattern. I've been trying not to buy patterns just to buy them. I've been trying to like them so they're like in my favorites. And then when I'm ready to actually knit the project, buy the pattern at that time. It might not be on discount, but that's okay because I think I have over 1,000 patterns in my library. And while I love supporting designers, like I don't need that many patterns. I'm going to wait until I'm ready to knit it, but not this one. I can't remember. Ripple Brioche Shawl, I think it's called. Ooh, I'll put it down in the notes. But it is this new shawl that's brioche. And there's a YouTube video I will link as well. And it was all about, he was using scraps to make it. And he broke down, I believe it's like 4 grams or 5 grams for the main color, which he did like in fingering weight for like the ribbing the front ribbing of brioche. The background he did all in different mohairs. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have plenty of leftover mohairs from projects. And when you're done, you're always like, what am I going to do with this? And then I've got plenty of just mohair that I pick up in different areas, like D-stashes. I get a lot of mohair because people either love it or they get it and they're like, oh, I hate it, it's sticky, or I can't work with it, whatever. So I'm like, I can wind some of that up and use that. So I'm really excited. Oh, and then there's in between like each brioche kind of stripe, there is like an actual stripe. And that I think uses 3 grams. So it was just the way he broke it up and explained it in this video got me so excited because I'm like, I have bags of yarn that are in the 15 to 5 gram weight, or like just under 20, like 19 to 5 grams in weight. How much fun would that be to pull that out with all my mohair, my random mohairs, and just start using my stash? So that made me so excited, and that's what got me really motivated to finally cast that project on so I can get to the brioche one. I love it when you're inspired again and you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this, 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 and this. That's how I've been feeling about socks last year and this year, and it's really, really, really fun to feel that way about my Westknits patterns again. So I'm really loving that. Okay, the next 2 knit-alongs are sock knit-alongs. They are my April socks. So what I do, I kind of have an order, which I wouldn't say I normally have an order of things, but for my 2 yearly knit-alongs, I do. So I found out that I need to go up to a size 1.5 for knitting the heel toe do-si-do pattern, but I like my cuffs and my toes done in the normal size 1. So what I do is I cast on my night owl fibers first. I work my cuff in my size 1 needle, but I only have one size 1 needle available. So once I get my cuff done and I'm on my yarn and I've moved over to the pattern to the 1.5 needle, then I will be able to cast on my Desert Vista Dyeworks. So this is going to happen, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, this weekend. This will happen this weekend. So I am going to work on that. And the colorway is, I think it's Sarguano. I don't say those right. Saguano, I don't know, Sarguano Cacti. So that's this colorway. I'm loving it. It's like a fun, I don't know, I just get real spring colors from it. I'm going to have this little peach. And I believe I'm going to do cuffs and heel in this. And then the toe I'll just do in this. I believe that's the plan. So yeah, so that is going to be cast on today, probably, or this weekend, we'll say. And then I've got a wind up. This is my Desert Vista Dyeworks April colorway, and it's hydrangeas. Isn't that lovely? So I'm really excited. Now, I'm also a little odd about certain projects. I like to be in certain bags, certain times of the year. So you'll see when I do my sock whips, I still have some Christmas bags because I haven't transitioned everything over to spring. Because quite honestly, it wasn't feeling very springy. We got like snow flurries here, I want to say last week. It's Michigan. But there's one bag in particular. Oh, it's my Barley Purls bag. It's the first one I bought of them because of this fabric. It's like, I love the birds. It reminds me of like vintage colors. I loved it so much that I grabbed it to see if I liked the bag. And spoiler alert, I like the bag so much that I just got 3 more bags in. But I really want to use this spring one with my hydrangea yarn. But this has, I'm jumping a little bit, this has a whip for Izzy. So I'm hoping to get the whip done. I still can cast on this one, but I want to get her this socks done for Iz, and then I'll put my night owl fibers in this awesome bag because hydrangeas remind me of spring and this bag screams spring. So that is the knit-alongs that I have going. That's all my knit-along projects. Yeah, I am going to pause, clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to go into sock whips, and then we will be done for this Come Back All Healed Up Arm podcast. I'll be right back. Okay, so I already jumped into the whip, or previewed this whip, so I'm just going to go ahead and start. This is a whip for Izzy. The pattern is Rhinebeck Roomies by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. Here it is. It's not the easiest to see on the dark yarn, but it's just enough interest. I really like it. And yeah, it just looks like it's just texture, really, which I love. I did a little color pop here. I'm using the heel. I did what my friend Lee calls a partridge heel. She's the one that taught me that. I'm not sure if it's from a paid pattern, so I'm not going to share what I did with that. I'll ask Lee. I don't think it is. I think it's just something maybe she came up with. I don't know. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. I just did all the decreases. This yarn is Long Dog yarn, and it was a one of a kind that Izzy just loved. So Izzy is actually in Peru right now. She went there with a school trip. It's been hard for her. So she can't do gluten and can't do dairy. I mean, she can, but she just gets real stuffy and sick and her stomach hurts. It's just not good. It's not like a deadly peanut allergy in which she won't be able to function anymore, but it just does not feel good for her. So she's been struggling so much just with food and not getting enough to eat. It's been heartbreaking, quite honestly, as a mom. So needless to say, I've been working on these like a mad woman while she's been gone. So I'll for sure get this one done. I'm not sure if I'll get my second one totally done. She comes back Sunday at 2:45 p.m. is when I get her at the airport. But I'm kind of in my head, what I like to do keeps me motivated because I do knit like one sock at a time, but I have so many sock whips that I start to have like races, and I'll show you what I mean. So this one, my friend Lee um, got some yarn and she started knitting with it, and it was just thicker and it wasn't going to fit her. It was going to be too big for her. So I tried it on. I'm like, oh, it fits me and I would love it. That's fine. So she knit socks for me, which I'm going to show in the March video, and I'm knitting socks for her. So she happened to say that she loved this Kirby Werby yarn. It's part of the Yellowstone collection. It is one-way ticket to the train station. So here it is. And I did just a little slip stitch, like just knit 3, slip 1, anytime the color changed. And I did that partridge heel because she did it for my sock and I thought it was so cool. So I did that on her sock. So I'm all the way to the point where I need to do the toe. So what I'm doing, so that one's at the toe. So that one's just going to hang out for a minute. And then I'm going to whip this one up to the toe. And then I'll do both toes on these. Then in the meantime, these two raced to the heel. So this is the Freckled Whimsy. It was her March club in like a line Out Like a Lamb. I've not yet accomplished this, but my goal, so many people do this, and I'm like, I need to. My goal is when I get her monthly club in, because they're so timely, so seasonal, that I want to knit it in the month that I receive it. So I did cast this on in March. It did not get done in March. But I want to whip through this one because I don't have her April clubs yet. I think I'll probably get them next week. But I want to be able to have this needle free so I can cast April on. But I'm absolutely loving this colorway, like obsessed. So that is the Freckled Whimsy. Now at the same time, I had this Languishing Felici yarn. So I thought this was the colorway that my niece Ellie wanted. When I went back to my notes, it was not. This is Bonfire, so I'm just going to knit it for myself. But it just halted and stayed on because I could not find her Sebastian is the colorway she wanted. I know I have notes. I have videos where I like showed it. I have no idea where it went. I have 3 skeins in this house of that yarn, and I don't know where it is. So I just bought 2 more and then bought more Felici or more Knit Pick Stroll, which is the solid, same thing, just solid colors. So I will share that in my March stash tales, but needless to say, now that that came in, I'm like, I've got to get these off the needles so I can cast on her socks and get her socks done. So like you can see, like I kind of race different socks to different points because it just keeps me going. Now this one, I made some coasters, a bunch of coasters, and I'm going to make my cousin and I coasters each month for the whole year so we can trade out. Like this is May's, here is April's coaster. It's just fun to have something a little different here. This is Sweet Skein of Mine. It's just fun to have something a little different. Now this is Octopus Garden by Long Dog Yarn. And I could have knit socks out of Sweet Skein of Mine for April because I think that's like the perfect little April colorway. But for whatever reason, when I went to cast on, this was calling my name. I have no idea why. So my plan is to do with these yarns. A lot of times I just use scraps, but if I don't have scraps that I feel like remind me of that month or the vibe I'm going for, then I bust into a whole skein, and I am fine with that because this yarn is meant to be used. So I'm just fine with that. So then I decided when I do that, I'm going to knit a pair of socks out of what is left. So yeah, so I'm going to do Vanilla is the New Black is my plan. And I just started the cuff. This one will race the April socks, the April knit along socks. So that those are all the sock whips. I've got 5 going right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I put one away? 5. Yeah, 5. Sorry about that. So I have 5 going on right now. I'll have 2 more on the needles soon. But I truly feel like Izzy's socks and Lee's socks will be done here, in the week. All right, everybody. Wow, I had a lot to say. It has been a while. But I'm so grateful that we spent some time together. I'm grateful to feel good enough to be back chatting about all of the crafty things. If you have any questions for me, if you have any things you are curious about or want to talk about next time, let me know. You can leave comments down below. You can get me on Instagram, whatever you would like to do. Thanks so much and have a great day.